Hello everyone and welcome to the Power 9 Podcast. My name is Mick, I'm one of your hosts alongside the magic god, Cass Ang.
What's up?
Alfian has died.
Oh shit, man.
Did you kill Alfian?
No, he went
Did I kill Alfian?
He went to Weeaboo land, man.
Weeaboo.
Weeb.
Really? Yeah, so he told me about, last week he was telling me, this is how the conversation went to go to Japan. He and his brother planned to go.
Okay.
Within that week, then he told his parents, Mom, Dad, me and Ryan are going to Japan. And then the mom and dad got jealous and said, well...
Then we're all going?
Yeah. So they're on separate flights. Maybe they're on the same flight, but they're staying in separate hotels.
I want to say that's kind of cute, but I think it's kind of...
It's really damn weird. This is not how a functional family works, by the way.
It's okay,
Mom, you're not supposed to go to Japan with us!
It's the same with my family. So my mom has been bugging me to find out my school holidays.
Yeah.
And then I told her that you don't book the ticket first. Then last night at dinner, then she says so I tell her remember, don't book the ticket. Then she's like, nope, we're not booking. Me and your father are going overseas by ourselves.
Yeah, suck it.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Suck it, loser. Just leave you behind. Which you deserve, by the way. When's your school holiday? Oh, I don't know. When's your school holiday?
The school schedule isn't out. It's not my fault.
Screw you, understand? I'm just going to go holiday with my husband.
Yeah.
So suck it. Anyway, you can stay in Singapore. There's nothing wrong with staying in Singapore.
I mean...
Where are your parents going?
They are going to Hong Kong and then they're going to Seoul, which has Jeju.
Hong Kong not the best place to go right now.
Really?
Bird flu and all. Yeah.
But man, bird flu killed a couple of people, but the shit's been always around.
Yeah, it's always been around. It's just up and down. So not the best time to go. So yeah, ask your parents to make sure they bring along.
They're going in December, so hopefully, by then the bird people thing wouldn't be as bad.
Bird people?
Yeah. That's the only way to describe this.
The bird, man.
The bird flu.
No, man, it will always be around. It's just whether it's going to be highly infectious and lethal, because the environment affects your immune system. Yeah, exactly. So you should know.
Yeah. Why am I playing 3 Saurins? That's bad.
I don't know. Yeah, actually 3 Saurins is kind of bad. Saurins top off your curve and
yeah, but I'm playing Siege Rhino, man. Everybody's like, let's play Fall of the Water and Knight of Reliquary. No, Siege Rhino. I cast it one time, I gain the health. I don't have to Knight of Reliquary, sack a land and tap 4 mana for life link.
And I think we mentioned this before, Siege Rhino gets under worship, right?
Yeah.
So and
it forces your opponent who's playing the Fatal Push to fetch for, if it's his only land, to fetch Shock for probably a black land, if not fetch for Swamp. Screw his mana curve up for a Fatal Push. So, yeah, it's 4 mana, 4/5.
Yeah, still dies to Fatal Push, by the way. But everything dies to Fatal Push.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, before they come, we're going to look for some Chun the last throw. I have a feeling there'll be some control decks around later.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's a good card. Alright, if you are new to all of this is the Power 9 Podcast. Remember, you can find new episodes every week on power9podcast.com. mtgcast.com, as well as on iTunes. I was going to do the spiel for the stream.
Spiel?
Yeah. This week, we're going to talk about specs. And I don't mean your spectacles, I mean speculations. But first, like every other week, we start off with our week in Magic.
Yeah.
I had no week in Magic. In fact, we were recording this super early.
Yeah.
Because I got work.
Yeah, because we love you guys, not clearly because we are dedicated to this, Oh, yes. For our, I don't know how many loyal viewers that we have.
It's about 600.
Oh, shit. We have 600 people. Oh, my God.
That's a very small number, dude, compared to...
That's kind of better than I expected. I was expecting
really?
200, something
we used to hit the 2,000, 3,000 people range. And then I don't know, I think Podbean did something, or we went on a break and then we lost a lot of
Hey man,
viewers.
if you stop listening because we went on a break, you are a dick.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we are human beings, man. We hold jobs too,
Also, they probably thought that we're kind of bad. They gave it about 50 episodes and then decided, oh man, these guys are totally bullshit.
If you're sticking for 50 episodes, that's like a marriage, man. You're in it for life. It's too late.
Too late.
You're like ball and chain. It's like if you leave now, it's just even lower EV.
Yeah, exactly. So so this week we're gonna talk about specs, but let's talk about our Wii Magic. So you got to
I played draft for once, and I had a pretty good time for once.
On Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't get land screwed as per normal.
Did somebody shout out at the top of their lungs you lucky. You're so lucky.
No, my opponent tilted, but so my deck was black, white, green, but predominantly black, white. So I drafted like a predominantly zombie deck, but it only had one card that was synergistic with zombie, which was the Owls of Devastation, black, white colors. 2/3 attacking zombie gets lifelink or death touch.
And death touch, yeah.
So my game plan was to basically buy time and cast Overwhelming Splendor. So I basically had a fun time because I had Grind to Dust, so I actually drafted like a couple of bombs. People were passing me the color, so I was like super happy. So I had
Why wouldn't people take Grind to Dust?
So Danny passed it to me. I think it was
second pack.
So that was second pack,
second
third
pack.
pick. So that wasn't his first pick. I think it was the guy on his right.
Whoa,
The color was super open, so I was like,
if you are playing black, you definitely just take that. Like, instant take that. You don't even need to play the white.
It's still a removal and you deny somebody from destroying your board.
Yeah.
So I drafted that. I had Overwhelming Splendors. I had the Black Trial, the sacrifice creature.
Yeah. Which you say you didn't use. Which
And
I'm mind boggled, man.
Yeah, Matthew told me the same thing, and then he showed Jeffrey because Jeffrey was in the draft as well, and then I wrecked Danny like straight up. I also had like so I passed the good red rare to Jeffrey for cast out. I can't remember. It was only good if you're playing red. I think it was.
What was the
Amon Cat had
Hazaret's Fury?
I
no, Amon Cat Glorybringer. No,
not Glorybringer. Okay, it was some kind of red rare or red uncommon that Jeffrey was like, "What do you pass this for?" And then at the start of the actual deck building, he's like, "What do you pick?" And then I picked the cast out, and he looked at my deck. It's like, "Yeah, okay, that's pretty good."
That's understandable.
Yeah. So the reason why Danny tilted is because in the draft, people passed to him 3 of the green uncommon from Owls of Devastation, the 7/7 Trample, come into play, Scry 3.
Oh, yeah.
Then review the top card after the Scry occurs, then gain life according.
Yeah.
So I basically, game 1, I lost because I didn't put in Grind to Dust and Trial. So that was my sideboard. So I looked at him and was like, okay, time to wreck you. And then I put it in and
then
I
just
proceed
poke.
to kill all 3 of the 7/7 Behemoths in the both falling games. And then Overwhelming Splendor and just not attack him. I just told him like, I'm going to watch you deck out. And just... yeah. And then he just sat there and tilted. And it was a good time.
Yeah. Feels good. Feels good.
I mean, I still think Magic should be played for the sake of entertainment.
Yeah.
Not all the time competitively.
Yeah,
Just have fun, man.
Definitely, on that same vein, I mean, I told myself, like last week, I did tell you guys about the Fraying Sanity deck that I made. And my mission was to win one game, not one match, one game, by milling my opponent out, because that's the only win con in my deck. There is nothing else. I have 2 bombs which can die very easily. So if I mill you out, I win the game. I mill the guy out, I won a match. I was like, yes, my life is complete tonight.
My job here is done.
Yeah, I can die happy tonight. So yeah, I think sometimes you just don't have to take games so seriously and just play and have fun.
And remember, sportsmanship is. I think sportsmanship is very important when you're playing the game, because even if you're looking to play for fun or competitively, if you're on tilt,
it's not fun for your opponent, man.
You shouldn't tilt, because I'm quite sure the opponent didn't mean to cut your deck and give you like 7 land hands into mulligan into 4. I'm quite sure that was never the intent. So. I mean, it might have been, but you never know. So you shouldn't tilt at him if you do get it.
Speaking of tilt, right? That's like our last week's episode.
Yeah. So tilting is just bad. It affects yourself, your gameplay, and everybody around you. It makes your LGS environment, gaming environment, much worse. So, sportsmanship, man. Keep it cool. Keep it classy.
Stay cool and funky.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, for those of you who don't come from Singapore, that is like typical. I forget who says it. Is it Jamie O?
Yeah, it was quite.
Stay cool and funky.
That's such an old saying.
That's a damn cool. That's damn old school. Old school Singaporeans will know.
Yes.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't come from Singapore, go spread it outside. Stay cool and funky, yo.
Go spread it outside, because it's like AIDS. Just spread it all around, boys.
It's like shit, right? Just spread it around. Just rub it on the floor with your bare hands. Yeah.
That's not gross at all. even in my imagination.
Yeah, I didn't get to play any Magic in between that time. I wanted to play Final Fantasy on Monday to Pauper, so I crafted out the Pauper deck already, and and I feel it's pretty good for a Pauper deck. For those of you who do play Final Fantasy, a Pauper deck refers to just using no legendaries, because legendaries really are the most powerful cards in the game, except for the ones that are very, very underpowered. There are there are very shitty legendaries. There are ones that you just wonder, why did you make this card?
Because if they print every card,
if they print every legendary, if they print every card as legend, like every powerful card as legendary, I would understand. Like a legendary Minwoo would be fantastic.
Wait, wasn't there an article on this as to why they can't print all good cards? I think I read it somewhere.
Yeah. You have to print bad cards to make good cards better.
Yeah. So
I don't think they printed it somewhere. I think LSV is always like.
I don't know where I read it from. It's quite strange.
I think I know when I listened to the Limited Resources podcast, like LSV and who's the other host for Limited Resources?
I don't.
It's Brian Marshall. David Marshall.
Oh, I might have seen it online as a YouTube video.
Yeah. Bad cards. Yeah, you need to make bad cards to make good cards look good.
Yeah.
So
I
lol.
I agree, because it offsets your EV, it makes your game playable in terms of secondary market. Because
clearly Force of Will does not agree.
Force of Will is kind of like, if I can sell boosters, then why care about everybody else? No one else's opinion matters to me. So I think it's just different overall.
Yeah,
I think it's just different overall.
But yeah, I didn't get to play a lot of Magic. Like this is.
Yeah, I mean.
Today we're gonna watch some Magic. Yesterday I got to watch.
Is the new chick coming down to stream with you?
No,
or are you doing it alone?
That was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, Jamie joined me for the stream. For those of you who don't know, every Tuesday and Wednesday nights we do this stream on Grey Ogre Games Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Grey Ogre Games. And yesterday, we brought on Jamie Ang, and she's quite fun to be with, just to sit around and say. Actually, to have a co-host during the stream is fun. I do not like casting alone because it's boring as shit. And for standard, right, because everybody else is playing. No, not Monorail. Everybody else is playing MTGO. There's nobody I can interact with. Alfian has it easy because Wednesday nights when Modo goes down, and then then he's got people to talk with except for himself. Because if he was talking to himself, he would probably jump out the window and kill himself.
Alfian kind of talks to himself.
Alfian talks to himself anyway, so that's a good fit. But then there's people to talk to him, so Alfian will feel happy. Yeah. All right, let's end our week in Magic and let's talk about our main focus of the day, which is speculations. Not so much what we think about speculations for this set, but the process, I guess, the factors that that you look for, or the things that you look for when you're making a speculation. So let's start with the idea of speculation. Let's start with like a good definition of speculation, and let's use the internet.
Yes. Because
speculation.
I don't have a good way of using words of English to definition.
Okay, of definition.
Google is better.
All right, so dictionary says speculation is a noun, the forming of a theory or conjecture without firm evidence. Okay, there has been widespread speculation that he plans to quit. No firm evidence. There's evidence, but then it's not like this thing. So the second definition is investment in stocks, property, etc. In the hope of gain, but with the risk of loss. With the hope of gain. So like you hope that the price will go up, but there's also this big risk. Not say big risk, but there's this risk of loss. And we can talk about big specs and small specs. So of course, large speculations are the ones where large speculations are ones with a higher risk of loss. So you go in big and you might come out, terrible. Yeah, terrible. And small speculations, like you'd have to do a lot of volume. So for example, if we're talking about foreign currency, so forex trading, everybody's looking for the fluctuations in forex trading. So even like a 1 or 2 point fluctuation makes you a lot of money if you buy
a shit ton.
a shit ton of that currency.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own like
definition
views of like, I mean, like different types of investments. I think forex is
forex is an investment. I don't think
forex
it's
and options are kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say scam, but yeah, I feel that they're scams. The way people sell them to you is like it's the same way somebody tries to sell a magic stone to an old grandma. It's like, oh, if you rub it hard enough, it'll work. And then when it doesn't work, it's like you're not rubbing it hard enough. So and then and forex requires so much money, and if you're new to it, it does, and you don't have that capital safety net, and you put like a decent amount of your wealth inside.
100K, yeah.
You're just gonna sit on your ass one day on the side of the street wondering what the hell happened to you, right? So like I don't like it because it's very easy to give misconceptions based on these. Like it's different from asset and bonds because asset and bonds have a longer investment window. So same as magic cards, depends on your objective, financial objective. Yeah. If you're looking to speculate for a short term, 3 months, 1 year, those would be short term. Slightly middle to short term would be 1 to 3 years. And long term with 5 to 10 years or 20 years if you have been playing since the start of Magic. So
that's So these are the term. For lack of a better word, the terms or the definitions and the key words we are looking for when we talk about speculation. Risk, and then the time period. I think that covers most of what a speculation should be like. Okay, so. Let's talk about this. We're referring to this article by Saffron Olive, Good Specs, Bad Specs, and quote-unquote the process, April 4th. Of course, this was not initiated by this content, not like last week's one. Last week's one was initiated by that article about tilting. The 5 trades. I like that. I actually like that article. It makes sense. But I still tilt. Doesn't matter.
Easy to say than to practice. As per all good things in life.
Yeah. But this article does point out a few, point out a few aspects of speculations that we'd like to delve into. Okay, so let's go through some of the factors that were slide. Let's point out some of the factors that we look for when we are speculating. Okay, so number one, I think, is price, starting price, right? Okay, no. So
it'll be entry price. Like
entry price.
There'll be a better word. Like first of all, like whatever you want to speculate on, simple concept. Although, like I said, how to practice is buy low, sell high. So you don't want to buy a card. You don't want to buy a card that's really peak, because then how much money could you make? Like, if you're just talking about finance, it's not about usage and the amount of money you could save from buying the card. So entry price is very important. Do I say the next point?
What would be the?
So we have
entry point. Yeah, entry point, and then
in the process, besides entry point, you have to consider your investment time frame. So how long are you looking to hold this asset, which is in this term this particular magic card for?
Yeah.
How long? 1, 5, 10 years, 20 years.
So when we talk about price, going back to price and then the time frame, right? We're looking at the trend. So you combine these two, obviously you get the trend of the price. You want to see at the lowest point, or somewhere near the lowest point. So once you see something like start to bell bottom or start to bottom out, and then start to rise, then I think that's a good time where you can enter when you think that a card is good. Okay, so this is assuming that you believe this card will rise up in price.
Yes.
Like this is the time that you enter. In actual forex trading, right? There's this double. What's that? Double peak? Is it double peak? I forget what's the correct term for it.
I don't know the term, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it will peak twice before going up or going down. So double peak or double valley, and this will this is like the trend in which how the market reacts, and the reason behind it is because there's panic buying, panic selling. That's why you get spikes. That's why you get
oh my god,
values.
sell! Oh my god, sell!
Oh my god, it's going so low! Sell! Then once somebody starts selling, everybody starts selling. But then they realize like, oh, okay, maybe I made a mistake, or somebody realizes, hey, this guy's making a mistake. I'm going to buy into it first. And then they go up and down again. And then when it goes back up, then people realize like, oh my God, it went back up. I better sell now. And
But
that's
usually they need quite a large market force for
this to happen,
for the
right?
change in the market to happen. Usually there is since you're on topic, mirror investment. So what happens is that some people don't choose to do their own research. Instead, they, example, try to follow Warren Buffett or the STI, Share Times Index, and try to invest from there. So once they see like a large player pull out, they're like, okay, pull out time. But probably at the point of time, you made some loss, but you try to marginalize by trying to mirror what the big boys are doing.
Yeah.
But that could be unwarranted because what they could be doing is hedging their bet. So they sell a whole bunch of shares, hoping that there's a large enough market of people who will follow him, and then he re-enters the market at a lower price point, and he's already made some amount of money.
Yeah, but that's not usually a case, especially in Magic the Gathering. This is mirroring investments is something that I think.
There was one, the LED.
Yeah.
LED was the probably
not just LED, mode as well, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened very recently. So let's move on to the other factor, which is news. So related to what we're talking about, news about certain speculations or certain buy in recent times it's buyout. What's his name again? That dude.
For the LED.
Yeah.
It was the guy who created the AIDS
pill. I know.
I can't remember his name, man.
Shit. Okay.
But I mean, it's quite fitting. He created the AIDS pill and then he's cancer. I don't know. But yeah, it's just bad jokes.
Martin Shkreli, that's the one. That's the guy. So Martin Shkreli, he bought out the modes, right?
Yeah.
He bought out modes, and then one fine day on Twitter, he said like, okay, I'm going to buy out. What's that? What's the card that we were talking about? LEDs.
LED.
Yeah, we're going to buy out LEDs. And then the market went crazy. Then the prices fluctuated like crazy. You saw Star City Games, who's usually a price setter, by the way.
Price,
and then things just went haywire for a short while. Nothing actually happened because LEDs didn't get bought out, did they? So only the modes. Mode.
So there's two different types of price, reactive price and I guess it's not. I don't think I'm probably using that exact term, but it's probably when you buy an LED and you flood the market, that's a reactive price because people are assuming because you are the one major player you can set the price, but that doesn't mean that is the accepted market price because if it's not in demand, but you have all the stock, you can try and set it for as high as you can, but if no one buys it, it's really not the true price of the good. So that is something to take note on speculation. If you are buying it for low and everybody else is buying for low, you might not make as much money because you don't have majority share, but at the same time, you also mitigate a decent amount of risk because you're not putting all your finances in one basket. Right?
That's why usually when you are, it's like a small investment or it's a small.
But it's also another investment thing. Learning how to diversify your risk. Learning not to put, in this case, example, not put all your money on. Let me think of a card. Cigalas 8. Cigalas 8 was a prominent card that people were discussing for a while during its initial conception about boggles, it being played in boggles.
Oh yeah.
And some amount of EDH, and that boggles be even better deck. But we are here almost 2 years from EMN's release and nothing.
Yeah.
So
I'm very sad about that. I actually we spec that quite a bit.
So
because
if you bought it, so low. Now we can go into entry price. Like if you go in at 15 cents or 8 cents, that is a good buy because you are paying basically cost for a card that could, if people are buying for $1 2 years from now, you still make you make like five times your 15 cents to $1. I don't even know how to say 5 times. Quadruple, and then I was thinking like quintuple. So you at least make quintuple. And quintuple of what you pay for still beats inflation, so that's not too bad.
But it's usually a small amount, and then from that point, I mean, like for you to sell, and then there's nobody who wants to buy, so that's the other thing that you have to consider.
So it's like the effort. So I think of Magic cards as like assets, like houses. If you buy like a second house to rent and stuff, or eventually want to sell it off, assets that are assets like these are very hard to move. You can probably sell. It just take a bit of time. And
it will
effort.
take you some money as well because
like the advertisements, the marketing.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so let's talk about specifics. Okay, card. Like we talk about in general, like entry point. You're looking at price trends. You're looking at the price trends. Actually, a good.
Give me a second.
If you match this up with supply, it's a good way for you to assess the demand and supply of the market. You have to know roughly what the supply is. Being magic cards, it's going to be a bit tough. If it's in a stock market, it's pretty easy because you know exactly how many stocks are being given out and like what's the price of each stock. But trends do help you map out projections that you might have, especially since the card is powerful. So let's talk about cards in specific or sets in specific. And one thing that we talked about before the show was whether the card is innately powerful or whether the card is innately powerful. So in this article, Saffron Olive was referring to seance. And Cass was asking me why did he talk about seance? And I replied him because at that point of time he made that stupid seance deck with the what's his name? With the siege rhinos and the this thing. He tried to make a seance deck again recently. So guess what? People are like hearing you whispering.
Oh, sorry. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Okay, yeah.
So
I need 23 lands.
Seance was the pick. Or at least he said, okay, if I spend like $500, $50 on Seance, I get like $450 back. That's a 900% increase. Great. Why Seance? Because he built a deck around it, and I think the contest point of contest came where it's not fair for you to think that a card's good because you built a deck around the card.
So that was my point to build a card. So I'm not accusing anybody of having any power or manipulation in terms of market forces. But let's just put it this way: if you're
Saffron Olive has to sell cards, by the way.
Yeah, you have to sell cards. And let's say you're Kim Kardashian and you started your own handbag brand, and then you see stock prices tanking and your market share is going down, and then like, oh no, the house is going to catch on fire. You'd be like, okay, maybe it's time to step out of my closet and then do some marketing with my face.
Oh, okay.
And then because it's like having the ability to say Trump as a brand name represents success. And if you didn't know, the intangible valuation that Trump put on the Trump brand name is $3 million at the point of his presidency. So
I know. So
like,
basically, he touched that card and then it turned to gold.
But the question was it objectively good card, or was it situational? Because Saffron Olive is a better than average player. He has been in Pro Tours where I haven't even played a GP. So as a plebeian, I would assume that Saffron Olive knows some shit that I can't figure out,
That's true.
But is
the card innately good, right?
So is the card innately good, or is this just because he's a good player and he's managed to work? Like if a pro player picked up Hedron alignment, and he plays it super well, it doesn't mean another player could pick up Hedron alignment and do equally well.
Yeah, exactly.
Same as Shota Yosoka,
as per Dragons, right?
As per Dragons, and the control when he was playing when after the Pro Tour he
said,
interviewed,
don't play this deck,
don't play the FNM, but don't play it competitively. That's a pro player being honest about cards. I like that because you can help your company sell cards because you're famous and you have YouTubes and the streams and the Twitch. But
you're honest about how powerful is this card?
If at least the person marketing it is honest about it, I'm cool with that. But I don't like. I mean, I don't know the actual story behind Seance, but I don't like it when I hear like, this pro played this card and then he's trying to make it like super good.
That does affect the prices of the cards anyway. Even if Shota told you, don't play this deck, you're going to play the deck. You're going to buy your damn Silumgas. You're going to buy your Silumgas scorns and shit like that, and you're still going to play the deck. So, you can't help it. But whether the card was innately good, and how do we, maybe some ways to assess whether a card is innately good. I think we compared Seance to other enablers. So Seance does enable. Seance does enable other cards. Cards your creatures go to the graveyard, they do come back. and then you get all the enter the battlefield effects.
But you know what? So like let's look at Seance objectively. So Seance is a recurring effect that sort of reanimates the dead for until end of turn. You know what else other deck users reanimate from the graveyard and wins you the game?
Goryo's Vengeance.
Umbrel's right. Goryo's Vengeance. Like Gristleband kill you for 1 billion damage. Fury of the Horde. So now you compare the power level of both cards. One of them costs 2 mana. One of them costs 4 mana is an enchantment. That
4 mana is an enchantment, and then one costs 5 and 4.
Yeah, one costs 5 and 4. So which is better? Like Umbrella Rights Goryo's Vengeance on one team.
One is the speed as well.
So we can, just by this example alone, we can look at something that we like. What I would think is subjectively good and subjectively bad.
Okay.
In terms of Magic, it's just like buying a car, right? So race car. If you want the fastest performance, the best performance, you want it to be cheap casting cost. You want it hopefully have it be 1 mana type, not double base mana. So double black is a restriction on its own, even though it's one color.
Or like multiple colors.
You want it to be instant speed, hopefully. So there are certain things players look out for in terms of good cards. So I just unsleeve Serum Vision. And the reason why Serum Vision is good is because 1 mana sorcery, draws you 1 card, gives you a pseudo half draw, right?
Also because there's no preordained or...
Yeah. But then again, preordained Brainstorm effectively does what Serum Vision wants to do, but at a higher level. So it's literally like buying a Tamiya car and changing different motors with different tires.
Yeah, which right? doesn't mean that Serum Visions is innately good, because
it's not innately the best, but it's innately good, but it's not the best.
Obviously, it's not
it's just the best of the worst situation because the other alternatives are being banned, right?
True.
So like in this case, Seance, among all the reanimate abilities, is just something that
it's a full effect.
If everything is banned, then Seance obviously will be good, but they're not.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
So like the cost of the card, the effect of the card, and like double white for Seance. Okay, we're not knocking down Seance. I like Seance a lot.
I think Seance is an interesting card. I just think that if you had to spec on it, I wouldn't spec on it. That would actually be a bad spec. And if you outrightly come out and say that, Seance is a good card, you should buy this card, I think that is a not very professional thing to do, because you are one sample size and you're using your ability to affect the market to affect this card's price and hopefully sell them. Which is hopefully what all card shops try to do, right? Have one pro and then I went to GH after Calvin Chu won the GP, and then I was telling them like, hey man, if Calvin Chu plays Hedron Alignment makes it good, everybody in Singapore can sell their Hedron Alignment cards for like $1 each and like quintuple our value of assets of Hedron Alignment. So that's the thing, but you don't have to do it, right? You don't have to force yourself as a pro player or influential player to do something like that.
Yeah.
If it's objectively bad.
So okay, so the other thing that we were talking about, like cards that support other cards.
Yes.
Seance is a card that supports other cards,
yes,
right? Because the other cards that enter the battlefield are innately powerful. So for example, Kitchen Finks.
So the example we were talking about pre-stream was the normal Artisan Company. So if you look at if you ignore the fact that Kitchen Sphinx is just super duper, you look at Murder Shake Cap. Murder Shake Cap is
not the expensive one.
Murder Shake Cap is part of the combo, but it's not the expensive one. But the rest of everything else that supports it to make it good. So Mileria, Viscera, Seer, Anafenza,
Collector Company.
But they're all cards that are innately powerful, but support the idea of this one card being the combo. So usually if the card is a card that can support these kind of plays, Collector Company, let's be played in like almost any deck that wants to cheat in small creatures for on the instant play combo kill, calling for tutor. So all these cards are the cards that I would use as a defining characteristics of what would be a good card to speculate on. Cards that enable combos, cards that enable decks to be more powerful than they already are.
Okay.
So lands, for example. So what's a powerful land? So Shambling Vance, Vault of the Archangel, Creeping Topic. Cards that not only add you mana, but give you actually card advantage because they're also creatures. So more value, better. So yeah.
I'm going to contest that point.
Okay.
How about Snap Custom Mage, which I see right in front of us? Snap Custom Mage is a card that supports other cards, but it itself is a crazy expensive card. So maybe let's analyze like what's so good about
Snapcaster is a Kitchen Sphinx. It supports other decks to play their combos because it lets your 4 counter spell become 8. It lets your 4 Thoughtseize become 8 Thoughtseize. if you really want to take 16 life. But basically what it does is that it makes Dex function even better. So Kitchen Sphinx is one of those cards. Kitchen Sphinx provides a 3/2 body and a 2/1 body. There's no graveyard hit. Gains you 4 life. And gives you kind of versatility in mana options. So if you're playing against Burn, the power of Kitchen Sphinx lies when you can fetch basic lands, a basic forest, and a basic plains, and still cast Kitchen Sphinx and subsequently cast any other spells. So there are cards there are defining cards that are innately powerful as well, as long as their ability to support other decks functionality. So Snapcaster allows Kologan Command, one of the cards we were talking about as a spec cards, be even more powerful. If at 5 mana, if you cast Kologan Commands at 3 mana and you turn 5, you cast a Kologan Command from a Snapcaster Mage. That will kill
a lot of value.
That will kill 2 artifacts, bring back two Death Shadows. And
you can bring back basically another Snapcaster just to do it again.
It enables cards, but in itself, it is so powerful because it doesn't require a combo to play. It can play on its own. And that is a defining characteristic of an innately good card. Because Kitchen Sphinx is even though it doesn't give you that flashback ability, giving you 4 life and a 3/2 and a 2/1 body to block 2 times in a row is super powerful.
Yeah, we talked about modality, the idea of giving you choice. And I think Snapcaster Mage is one of those that gives you all the choice. Basically, you cast it like it works differently in different situations. And I think like Kologan's Command
Give me a second. Danny, can you help me check whether there's 2 Tarmogoyfs in the one?
Yeah, those.
How do you know you have if you never check? You psychic, is it? So if have, then if don't have, how?
I just checked.
Okay, that's good.
I'll trust you.
Okay, so let's move on. Like modal. Okay, so we talked about modal spells. I think modal spells, obviously, when we take a look at the modal spells, we talk about choice. What's good in what situation? Snapcaster Mage fits that
almost every situation.
Yeah,
right?
that situation. Well, unless like you're really. Unless there's graveyard hit then.
But even if graveyard hit,
then it's just a 2/1 beater, right? It's an ambush viper.
In my ambush viper, man, it's just flashing and just hope
No
your
man,
opponent
ambush viper has death touch. Don't ever compare Snapcaster to ambush viper.
Well.
Ambush viper is so good.
So much anger, so much hate. Let the
Hey
hate flow.
man, I love my ambush vipers in my popper deck, which never gets any play anymore. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I think one of the things that triggered this conversation was the actual value EV of a box.
Yes.
Okay, so and there's been a lot of talk about what's this at Hours of Devastation. The EV of the box is extremely low, or at least that's what people have been saying. Of course, now the value of the box has gone back to expected value. But once we hit rotation, the value of box is going to be dirt cheap. So what we were talking about last night, buy the mythics. Buy the mythics that cost money, even though they're expensive now, which is the reason why I went to go and spec on, not spec but I went to go and buy Nico Bolas's. Just to complete the playset, because I'm not speccing on them, but I know the prices of these mythics, they're going to go up. So historically, let's take a look at Dragon's Maze. Dragon's Maze, the only this is the textbook example. The only thing that was worth in that box was Voice of Resurgence, and Voice of Resurgence basically became the price of the box. If you opened up the box, there were the dual lands, the shock lands.
Yeah,
right?
but those were like chance based.
Like one in every.
10 or something like that.
No. For Dragon's Maze was 1 in 20 packs or something like that. Like really small. I think you can get 1 or 2 per box. So that's what made up the price of a Dragon's Maze box. And if you did not open the Voice of Resurgence, you get nothing. You basically get you get shockland. You get at least one shockland. Maybe a foil.
That's what everybody's looking for. One shockland.
The one shockland, right? You open
pay,
up the entire box. You pay $100.
Hey man, if you're that kind of guy and you're still around, hey man, I got some shocklands. You wanna buy some? I'll sell it for $50. You go through all that pain of not opening packs. Just take it off my hands, man. Just take it off my hands. I'm actually referring to that to make my investment
decisions on this, because Nicol Bolas has not changed price. It's $20, and it's $20. Maybe fluctuates around $20, plus or minus, depending on what the players are selling it for. The shops are selling it for what? $26, $25, $26, somewhere there. They're following the Star City Games pricing. So, what I'm gonna bet is that once this set either rotates out, or once the new set comes in, we stop drafting this set, the mythics are going to be very, very expensive.
Yes.
And the reason being, the people are not going to be opening the boxes because they don't want, it's feel bad to open this box.
I mean,
it really is feel bad.
I can't think of a single rare. I mean, actually,
there are some Champion of Wits. Okay,
like Hour of Promise is a card that Hour of Promise, the green one.
Oh yeah, Hour of Promise is good.
There are cards like that, but there are cards like Ketra's Last Word thing, the Return Your Life to 20.
Yeah, Ketra's Last Mercy. Yes, that's true. But so for what were we talking about? Yeah, so there are some rares in there that are valuable.
Yep.
But that's not enough for a big set. Or for medium size set, like this is clearly not enough. Siege Rhinos was supposed to be, now that you're sleeving up, Siege Rhinos was supposed to be like chase rare type of thing. But we opened up so many boxes. Siege Rhinos are now like $3 or $4.
Siege Rhino is almost an exception to the rule because
because that set had fetch lands.
Yeah, the EV of that box was
insane.
At that point of time, I had people like post, I think, a month coming in whacking boxes in front of me for no reason. Like my sales pitch was basically, I have the boxes, and then it went on it sold itself. So that's
different. So that's slightly different.
Yeah.
So for for comparison's sake, we're only comparing to like what's that to. Even Fate Reforged.
Yep.
Fate Reforged was not a very largely open set.
Yes.
There were some chased rares, which we had, like Soulfire Grandmasters. But the only thing that you wanted, Soulfire Grandmaster and
Monshi Mentor, Ugin,
and look at the price of Ugin. Look at the price of Monshi Mentor. Those cards, because that set wasn't open that much, we only got to open one booster pack per. Was it one booster pack?
Yeah, that was one.
The Fate Reforged was 2 booster packs and then one Khans.
Yeah, but that was
and then
a
when
draft
Dragons was double Dragons. And
but people didn't really want the double Fate Reforged because
that's why. Because the value is so bad.
There's like Mardu, like the black spear guy, and then there's like some other nonsense.
The spear guy was terrible.
Yeah, so there's so many bad cards, and people just didn't want to play that. But
exactly.
And it just fluctuated the price because the supply of cards like Ugin is so low. You can't find Ugins.
So this is
cheap.
exactly. So this is what's happening with this set, because Fate Reforged was even a smaller set than this. By the way,
but
so
the question here is that Ugin was a card that the minute I saw the card, I was like, by the way, if Chon lays one more land, this kills everything and anything. So then of course there was the miracles that is like this is like young pyromancer but on like roids, like steroids,
Yeah, but that's what everybody saw, you see. So the cards were already expensive to start off with.
Those they already started off with a decent amount of price because they had. So what I was telling you before the podcast, the actual recording now, is that they have basis for reasons of speculation. I mean, let me try and find a better word for it. There is basis for speculation.
There's stronger evidence.
There's stronger evidence to speculate in these cards because by reading it, there are decks that would benefit from this card going in, and the power level of those decks would indefinitely go up.
Yeah.
Cards like Ugin going into the Tron decks was a natural thing. Decks like Miracles having the Monshi Mentor instead of like playing around entry the Angels, playing a 50-minute game to find your 1 entry or 2 entries.
Ripple.
So there are cards like that when you look at it, you know that with knowledge. So a good way to look at it this way is when you look at investments, there's a lot of macroeconomic pictures that you can't tell. So like political, regional politics upheaval, or natural disasters, or civil domestic violence like rioting.
Yep.
But in Magic, the good thing is that we don't have such weird things because no one's gonna buy one car and just burn everything except one.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fire Chris Cox. Now everybody's like, oh my god, what is happening to Watsy? Oh, they release a new D&D, or what's the plane shift. Oh my god, what's he gonna do? They're concentrating on D&D, they're not playing Magic anymore. So
So
these
in the
these
same
things
way,
don't affect
the
Magic
good thing about Magic is that there's
it's
the
almost
lack of that
literally-
volatility.
Yeah, it's literally only demand
Yes.
and supply.
So if you know your card is, you look at it and it's like, this shit is good shit. Like, example, Spellcurler. You look at Spellcurler and it's like, wow, I think modern, vintage, and legacy all play cards that are below 4.
That do something like that.
Yeah.
Some people still use Fiend Hunters. Oh, this card might be good,
Yeah,
you
so
know?
when you look at those cards, like if you can't tell it's good, then stop now. Stop this. You continue listening now, but don't buy cards before you finish listening to this first. You know there are cards that are objectively good, but your objective is still to enter that market when it's as low as possible and make as high as a profit margin.
Yeah.
But
But even then, like what we were referring to now, which is buying all the mythics from this set. I want to get my Crusted Sunmares. I want to get my playsets of Ugins. Not Ugins, sorry, Nicobolas.
Nicobolas.
What other mythics are there worth in this set? I forget.
Crested Sunmare,
I talked about
the weird Sphinx thingy.
Oh, the gods, yeah, the gods.
The weird Sphinx thingy, the green
Unesh.
thingy.
Unesh is like $2 now on Star City Games. Like, this is the prime time to get your mythics.
The reason why... Okay, there's two reasons why I don't play Standard. Why I wouldn't advocate Standard speculations, because Modern, there's so much more... the Eternal formats have so much more evidence for you to justify buying into a certain asset. Because Abrupt Decay, 2 mana, kills anything below 3, there's non-land. Okay, that shit must be good, right? Because it can't even be countered. But when you look at Standard, there is that volatility of not knowing whether what you think is good now will be changed by the next set's release.
Correct.
So next set has dinosaurs, man. What if like sphinxes are just eaten up by dinosaurs? And you just have no choice. And
No, but that's the thing. Like, these will be, I think at the end of the day, will be somewhat evergreen cards. Like, we think about when you mentioned the idea of it being in Standard, it doesn't have to be in Standard, dude. It can be in EDH. It can be in just EDH, or just the availability of that card itself will make the price more difficult.
this versus these two.
What, Maelstrom Pulse versus Damnation and Lost Legacy? I don't know how many other Maelstrom Pulses are you playing.
0.
I don't know. I can't make the decision now. I'm on a train of thought, man.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
the idea is that something like so some of these cards are innately powerful, like Elashnon. Elashnon was like some shit card back in the day because nobody wanted to play with it.
Because CMC is so high.
The CMC is so high, yeah, exactly. We talk about what other cards that are
Probably like
creator who be morph.
Yeah.
Like, the effect is powerful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but the CMC is so crazy high that you just can't cast the creator who be morph.
You can't do it.
Not in Standard,
You
anyway.
can't cast it effectively in Standard. But when you look at the Eternal formats where...
When you look at Commander, not just Eternal formats.
Yeah, Commander and Commander Eternal formats, like you have cards like Heritage Druid, you have access to all these other nonsensical cards that...
So you wouldn't know this. I mean, you wouldn't know this along the way, but like I was saying, just the rarity of the card, because not a lot of people open the packs.
But the way I look at Elishnon and the way I look at Elishnon at least is that Elishnon is kind of its price range is affected by many factors. Not only that, it's played in Commander and Eternal formats, like 1 or 2 off, which usually doesn't make the justification of price being like above 15. But Elishnon is about 15 plus minus.
Yeah.
Is that Elishnon is a iconic card.
It's powerful.
Yeah, so it's like
Gristleband.
Gristleband has been printed to like oblivion with the
And
GP promo and the MM stand.
still
And
expensive.
it's still at least $10, and that's like a lot of reprints, man. If you just come from...
Emrakul, the case in point is Emrakul. Emrakul
yeah.
has been reprinted to oblivion by now.
Yeah, so the RPDQ one is the expensive one because it features all new different art and it's hard
$100.
and it's hard to get. But like if it comes from a booster reprint or it comes from just attending an event, like a no requirement, no restriction event as a GP, not RPDQ, then the card will definitely not
It's
hold
still,
as much value.
but it's still holding
Yeah,
value.
it does
Dude,
hold a bit
Emrakul
value.
is still like 35.
So my comparison with Cradle Hoof, Alishnon, and like Ulanesh from the Hours of
yeah.
Devastation is one thing. If you are speculating it based on whether it'll be good buy for the next coming standard, then
No, I think that's a bad.
Yeah, that would be a bad justification to spec into a card.
Correct.
If you think this card will be played years from now,
I don't even think
or it's
if you-
cheap enough to think that way because the card is kind of innately powerful when you read it,
Yeah.
then fine. By all means, I think that's a good reason.
I
But
don't even think
yeah.
you need to think about it, whether it will be played.
Yep.
Just in the long run, this is a longer time period that you're looking for. Once it starts rotating, people definitely not going to crack the boxes.
Yep.
Supply of this card going to be very limited, and you control part of that supply, like very small part of it, but still part of that supply.
Yeah.
So and the entry price is, dude, the entry price for Unesh is like less than $2.
like
Come on.
a card that I would personally speculate on is the Green Promise, the Green Hour.
Oh yeah. Our
Because if
promise.
it's cheap, I will buy XX. If
Oh,
it's
for
like
sure.
80 cents to a dollar, yeah.
So
shit, man.
that card is powerful. Like, you're gonna play that in a lot of decks.
In minimally, it will see play in Commander, and anything
Yes.
in Commander that ramps is always worth money.
Correct.
Given a soul ring, if not reprinted to death, but mana crit, mana fall.
correct. Yeah, that's 5 mana. Like, you don't play deserts in that deck.
Yeah.
That's 5 mana to look for the 2 best lands that you ever
Yeah,
have.
so and that's what I mean. So a card we were contesting about this evidence that we think is required for you to
yeah,
invest
okay.
was Dark Imitations.
Dark Intimations.
And Dark Intimations, yeah, that's a
Maybe-
word.
maybe-
Yeah,
maybe-
I have dyslexia. But yeah, that card. Okay, so my contest to make was that he said that it was a okay card, and it'll be okay to invest because in itself it was okay.
And in itself had evidence to show you that, okay, one of these sets hopefully will get
The God Pharaoh.
Not get for God Pharaoh. Yeah, we get Nicobola's God Pharaoh.
Yeah. So as Mix laughs, this is my contest name. So the card is only okay. So then, okay, let's take it step by step. If you look at the card, it's only okay. Next, we look at, do you think this will be played in the Eternals plus EDH?
EDH maybe.
Yeah, EDH maybe. Eternals? No. So there is sort of a linchpin on this price really because you don't think it's really being played in the Eternals except for EDH.
Correct.
The next thing is
Entry point, okay, let's talk about entry point.
Entry point is dirt cheap because no one's playing that card.
So that check
So
off the list.
it's good because looking at the right things, you're looking okay, can you play in other formats? Does it make it worthwhile to invest? What's the price point? The next thing is, of course, what I propose to make as when you look at the card and its second subtext is based on a card that hasn't been printed, can you really justify it being being powerful enough or being able to speculate enough?
But that's the whole point of the definition of speculation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of speculation.
But
Then that's where we talk about like big risk
Yes.
and small risk. Big risk is Nicobolas has one ability, and it's a shit ability.
Yes.
And how about if it only has a minus ability, which you require at least 1 Dark Intimations in the graveyard?
yeah. So
It wins you the game,
Yeah.
but then like
But
that.
but that was only real. Also, even if dark intimation dark
That card-
I'm just gonna call it dark nonsense. If dark nonsense was good, but Nicobolas was crap, it wouldn't even justify you buying 4 Nicobolas. It would justify you 1 and maybe. Not even 4, not really. You wouldn't even convincingly buy 4 plays, like a full play set of this dark nonsense because then you're looking for, you have 4 of these good cards that only works with this 1 lousy card. And then I'm quite sure that in Magic, where efficiency is so important in the highest level of competition, that you don't want to play 4 cards that is relying on 1 lousy card. And that's why I would say, even though by definition, buying into dark nonsense is the definition of speculation, it is a bad speculation. You're buying into half a leg. Basically, you're buying. The guy shows you half a spring chicken, then the other half is covered by this plastic wrap and tells you, if you buy it, maybe you get the other half, maybe you don't.
Maybe you get a good half, maybe the other half still uncooked.
And the worst part is you only know 3 months from now. So you buy it, you can only look at the 1 half and not eat it for the first 3 months and eat it later subsequently.
Yeah. So that's a very good example of like a bad a a bad investment, a bad speculation. I mean, like I'm trying to be the devil's advocate and like trying to fight for the card, but all signs point to it's very simple that it will point to that. The other example that we were looking at was Haven of the Spirit Dragon, where the way the card was worded kind of suggested that we're going to print more Ugins in the future.
Correct.
Because the third part of the card says 2, tap, sacrifice Spirit of Haven Dragon, return target dragon creature or Ugin Planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. And that kind of suggests that maybe we're going to get Ugin, but we don't know for sure. So the price of actually, and because of that, the price of Haven of the Spirit Dragon remain quite high, and even because the other two abilities were fantastic, the fact that it gave you colorless mana minimum, the fact that you gave you colored mana for dragon spells or dragon creature spells, that was fantastic.
Definitely play in Commander minimally. And if ever again, this card is easily reprintable. So do you want me to tell him to?
No, it's okay.
The card is easily reprintable. It doesn't increase the land-based power like fetch lands do or like shock lands do. The way it affects the standard deck, standard format. So the card can, guys, can you all lower a bit? Yeah. So it not only gives you the power of easy reprints, it fixes your land base. It suggests more Ugins to reprint, and if more Ugins are ever reprinted, this card is always going to be good.
Yeah. So that's the thing. But so the speculation during that period was that there
many
no
more
Ugins.
than one.
So maybe Ugins will be printed in the future. So this card is actually still good to buy. I
think it's cheap. If it's the entry is low, you can probably invest in it because core sets are coming back, and core set coming back means reprints.
Yeah, that's what the other one thing I wanted to talk about was how difficult is this card to reprint, specifically for Magic cards. So we were talking about how Fatal Push will always retain its price at like $9 now right now, and in actual fact, I think it will always retain that price until they release the news of core sets.
Yes.
And then I got a bit sad.
I'll be quite terrified of core sets because core sets is a place...
You can reprint anything that you want.
It's quite a scary place to be at.
Exactly. So, we talked about like, what you call it, Fatal Push only being open in Kaladesh, and like people are just cracking packs to open Fatal Push. I'm just cracking packs to open Fatal Push. Well, I'm not cracking packs, I'm just trading in my price packs. Yeah. But, then that scares me a lot because if you just suddenly reprint it at still uncommon, then we are royally screwed. Okay, like Inquisition of Kozilek. This is what happened to Inquisition of Kozilek, that you reprinted it in rare and then you reprinted it at uncommon again in a set that was open so much. Yeah, like this is what scares me a little bit.
But this is the inherent risk of this, at least Magic's form of speculation and investment. Like, if you're looking to make money, then you can't. You cannot. That's risk. You can't beat every form of risk. You can't beat market risk. You can't beat environmental risk. You can't beat every kind of risk, no matter how good you are. Yeah. You just have to absorb some of the risk and hope that it works out for the best. Because based on your evidence, you made the right call. Then it's like playing Magic. If you made the right play and your opponent really top deck his answer, then too bad lah. It's just too bad. There's nothing you could have done. And
exactly. We talked about it before the show. Like there is definitely some risk involved. Yes. But you have to separate yourself. Like if you are going to like go hard into investment, I don't believe our audience will. It's just a nice informational podcast. But if you're going to go hard into investment, you cannot put your emotion to that money that you spend. Like this is $100 that I'm not going to see again. Yes. Like if you're going to put $100 into Haven of Spirit Dragons,
it's like buying gold for investment, then liking gold, and then you like to look at it, and you never like to sell it, and then you don't actually make your investment money back. You don't hit your aim in your objective.
I like gold.
So you can't buy a card and be like, okay, let's say I buy like 20 Ugins for like $20 and now it's $40, and I look at Ugins like I kind of like dragons and I kind of like Ugin, so I just hold them, and then it drops like $15 and it's like shit, I should have sold them. Yeah. So don't
you can't put your emotions in what we call playing the stocks lah. So all right, I think if you have other comments about making good speculations or what you think about making good speculations, put it in the comments below. We'll read it someday, I promise. I do read the comments, come on. Go over to our website.
I know I
power9podcast.com. You don't?
I
You
know.
don't even know where we post our
No,
listing.
no,
What's the
I don't.
website? What's the website that we have?
Power9podcast.com.
Oh yeah, okay. So that at
that's
least
a good
sinks in
guess.
every day.
That was a good
That was a
guess.
good
Holy shit.
You know, you can put in power9, like the number 9, podcast.com, and then
Really?
it still leads to
Oh,
this
shit.
thing. And I think I bought p9p.com as well.
Wow, we bought
I
the
know.
domains.
I bought all the domains, so like people don't steal the
I love
domains.
Cass.
Oh man,
Cass is amazing.
it can actually pick up, by the way. Like you're far enough from the mic, but I think your voice is so shrilly, it picks it up.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Guess what? Like people are now like listening, like what is it? They can still hear you. All right, we're gonna wrap up the show. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can find new episodes of the podcast every week. Power9podcast.com, mtgcast.com, as well as on iTunes. You can find us on Twitter. On Instagram, YouTube, as well as on Facebooks. You can find us on not Instagram, Twitter at Power9Podcast. The 9 is
Number
the number
9.
9. Yeah. Because they don't allow Power9 Podcast like full word because it's more than 15 letters. You can find us on the Twitch as well, twitch.tv/theasianjudge, twitch.tv/Grey Ogre Games, every Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Singapore time. You can find myself on Twitter at The Asian Judge. You can't find Cass anywhere. Please don't find him. He will tell you, screw off.
Yes, I am a very angry individual. Oh,
Get lost! I don't want to talk to you. Alright, so for myself and Cass, we're signing off. See you guys.
see you.
Ciao.